it is said, the first sign of intelligence is not to say anything. The second sign of intelligence, since if we have lost the first sign, second sign is not to say anything unless a question is asked. So in this country, almost all scriptures begin with a question. Unlike elsewhere in the world, here we always encouraged the spirit of inquiry. The basis of science is spirit of inquiry. And basically in the Orient, we always encouraged, you should ask questions. We never said, no, don't ask questions. We say, ask questions. So now, coming to that in a little while, I know you have many questions. As intellectuals, we do have questions. And it's the questions that take us forward in the journey of life. Earlier, a professor asked me, what is the difference between, what is the connection between science and spirituality? What is science? Science is to know what this is. Knowing systematic analysis of what is science. Understanding, analysis and understanding. What is this is science, who am I is spirituality. They are extension of each other. Objective analysis is science, subjective inquiry is spirituality. Actually, see, they are same. They're both same. But there is a difference between the Orient and the Occident. In the Orient, they always said, you first believe, one day you will get an experience. There is some truth in that also. See, when you have a seed, and you sow the seed, then you believe the seed is going to sprout. And one day it will sprout. But in the Occident, it is first you believe and then one day you will get the result. In the Orient, here in the East, we always said first experience and then you can postulate your belief system. This is one of the reasons that science and spirituality never contradicted in the eastern part of the world. No scientist was ever persecuted in this part of the world. Here in all the Eastern, in all the Orient, but we have seen Spanish Inquisition and many scientists were being sent to gallows. In that part of the world where the philosophy or religion was, that you have to believe, whether you know it or not is immaterial. Isn't it? Here we did not emphasize on that. We said, you know it. You ask questions. Even in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna, having said all that, he says, Vimarshayet. You just think about it. You ponder on it. Put it into the test of your logic. When you accept it, agree, then only you act on it. So that sense of intellectual freedom is in the DNA of this country. But unfortunately, for the past several centuries maybe, we have developed also a lot of superstitious things all along. So the real philosophy, real essence of knowledge or cream of our philosophy got buried underneath these superstitions. So it's very well understandable that we find science and spirituality are not getting along. If you think the practices we do are spiritualities, the customs and traditions we follow, all that is spirituality, definitely you find it a conflict. But if you go into the root of the system, the basic philosophy, then you find there is no border. Because we have always said, Tattva Jnanat Moksha. Tattva Jnana means knowing the principles. What are the principles? He said, first know earth element. Earth, water, fire, air, ether. You know, Professor Dur, who is one of the greatest nuclear scientists of this world, when he visited Bangalore, he told me, you know, the ancient people in Egypt, they knew only 4 elements. They didn't know anything about space. I said, in India, we knew. We always said Pancha Mahabhutas. We said there are 5 elements. He was shocked to hear that. He said, is it that people knew about ether here, about space? I said, yes, they knew about time. Because of the 36 elements that's counted in our philosophy, Desha, Kala, all this is counted. Space, time, is all counted as principle, including Shiva Tattva. Shiva is also called Tattva, a principle. And what is Shiva Tattva? A state of consciousness, which is neither waking, nor dreaming, nor sleeping, but something that underlines all this. So we were always in this mode of scientific temperament in our understanding, in our learning. We had this. But somewhere in the middle, of course, we seem to have lost that thing, that we need to bring that back. Now, what is contrary to science? As I said, first is belief, second is prejudice. What is detrimental to science is prejudice. If you have any type of prejudice, I tell you, you can't call yourself scientist. Because your prejudice does not allow you to perceive things properly. And when you cannot perceive, you can't call yourself a scientist. So, to have clear perception, we should have a mind which is free from stress, a mind which is healthy, vibrant, a mind which is full of enthusiasm, a spirit which is full of enthusiasm and creativity, and willingness to learn from any corner.